In April of 1912, the most famous ship sank near the coast of Nova Scotia. The RMS Titanic was believed to be unsinkable, but she wasn't. No recordings were ever made of the radio distress signals that were sent or received during those tragic hours when she hit an iceberg and sank within 2 hours thereafter. In 2014, the office of S.E.T.I, the Search for Extra Terrestrial Intelligence, contacted me and told of a mysterious signal they had recorded. The source of this signal was only isolated coming from outer space, or perhaps it was reflected from space after having been sent from the Earth originally. They could never decipher the signal until the past 6 months, when a scientist in their binary decoding department was able to interpret the signals as being some kind of analog echo of an original binary radio signal. Further research determined it originally was Morse code signals. They used computer software to interpret these codes and confirmed something that had never been heard before: the actual Morse code distress signals from the RMS Titanic during those final hours when the great ship went down. Now I have used the computer simulator to synthesize the actual transmissions of the Titanic messages. No one knew these existed until now. To explain what you will be hearing, the term CQ meant in the early 1900s that a vessel was in distress and needed immediate assistance. Another term that was just beginning to be used was SOS, which meant the same thing but as a newer alert signal to ships that a vessel was in immediate danger. All segments are condensed and do not reflect time differences for continuity of actual transmissions. Now we present the historic Morse code messages that were sent by the RMS Titanic on April 14, 1912. CQ. 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 This is RMS Titanic calling for assistance from any vessel. Please answer. We are sinking by ahead and have severe damage to our hull. All passengers are being put in the longboats. Please answer immediately. This is Carpathia. We hear you, Titanic. What is your position? Please give us your position immediately. Carpathia, this is RMS Titanic. We have struck an iceberg and are sinking from the bow. 4 watertight compartments have been flooded within the first 10 minutes of the collision with the iceberg. Can you assist us? This is Carpathia. Please give us your position. Repeat, please give us your position. Carpathia, this is RMS Titanic. Captain Smith has written his position based on the heading he last had, and that is approximately 1,600 miles northeast of New York City and approximately 1,100 miles north of Newfoundland near the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. This is Carpathia. We are making all steam to your location and should be there within 2 hours. How many on board? Carpathia, this is RMS Titanic. We estimate 2,400 people but have only half the number of lifeboats to save our passengers. Please come quickly. This is Carpathia. Understood. Our captain will be advised. Titanic to Carpathia. We are sinking even faster than the captain first thought. He has just given us a shorter time to get help here. He expects our boiler room will be flooded within the hour, then we won't be able to transmit any longer. Carpathia to Titanic. Tell your captain we are making preparations for receiving you and your passengers. Hang in there, we're coming as fast as we are able. Captain Smith has told us to inform you that a ship has been seen in the distance from our deck sitting still in the ice floes. We see lights on the deck and are trying to signal them with flares and the Master Sergeant lamp light. So far no answer to signals, no reply from radio at all. Carpathia to Titanic. How many lifeboats have you gotten away? Our captain wants updates. He's hopping mad. We can't get information fast enough for him. Titanic here. We can estimate, but it is certain only 6 or 8 boats are away so far in these temperatures. They won't last long without food or water. Carpathia to Titanic. We now estimate we are 1 hour from you. How are things progressing? Just get here. Don't have power much longer to transmit updates. Just get here, Carpathia. Don't panic. Hold yourselves together as long as you can. Try to remember that you are both the only ones who can keep us and the mainland informed. SOS SOS. This is Titanic to Carpathia. We've just been told by the captain all power is gone. It's every man for himself. Abandon ship. Did you get that, Carpathia? This is our last message. Carpathia to Titanic. We've received your message. Save yourselves. Forget about the radio. Get out now. Carpathia to Titanic. Are you still receiving us? Repeat. Are you still receiving us? Carpathia to mainland radio operator. All contact lost. No further reception from Titanic received in the past 30 minutes. Carpathia to mainland radio operator arrived at position. Last received from Titanic. Only lifeboats seen. Ship gone. Many bodies in the water. It's not a pretty sight. Mainland radio operator to Carpathia. Please advise your captain. Everyone here is listening. The world knows this is happening. The President sends his condolences to the passengers and crew of Titanic. Carpathia to mainland radio operator. Please send this message to the news. Titanic has lost all but 1,200 saved out of 2,200 souls. Carpathia to mainland radio operator. White Star Line donor, Mr. Charles is made, saved in lifeboat. Request isolation from general public at arrival in New York. Carpathia to mainland radio operator. All passengers are women and children. Only a dozen men saved out of lifeboats. Mainland radio operator to Carpathia. Please confirm your current position and time of arrival to New York. City. Carpathia to mainland radio operator. We expect to arrive in New York after recovery of bodies completed. Passengers becoming agitated, disruptive of Titanic survivors. Please keep this between us. Mainland radio operator to Carpathia. Heard message from Captain Lord of the Californian. He is overcome with shock having heard about Titanic sinking. Advised his radio operator had gone to bed and turned off his radio set. He said they were in the general area when the Titanic was sinking but saw nothing. Carpathia to mainland radio operator. Titanic radio crewman mentioned to us that a ship had been seen and that they sent distress signals of flare and light lamp, but no answer was received. Asked Captain Lord could he have seen anything. Mainland radio operator to Carpathia. Captain Lord has finally responded to our message about signals sent by Titanic. He insists that he never saw them. Carpathia to mainland radio operator. Finally arrived in New York Harbor, passing the Statue of Liberty. What a great sight to see her. Many young children on deck looking around for their parents, but none have come forward that we can see. These kids have a hard time ahead of them. Mainland radio operator to Carpathia. New York City Police advised of unattended children from Titanic. Arrangements have been made for these bundles of joy. No worries. Someone will love them. At this point of the transmissions, The binary signals began fading to a level that nothing else could be deciphered. These transmissions began after the impact of the ship with the iceberg. Why nothing could be heard prior to this isn't understood by anyone. In 2015, scientists from London made studies of the location where these transmissions came from and believe it could have been reflected within the Alpha Centauri system. Who knows if they will see the 1997 movie that James Cameron directed? Perhaps they will send other transmissions to us again. Only time will tell.